Okay, just a quick warning, this video discusses the topic of sexual abuse, and I totally understand if you want to skip it for whatever reason. I will see you next time. After watching the Geeky Blonde's video on sexual abuse in the YouTube community, which I will put a link to in the description, I did some thinking. I realized that at 22 years old, I am one of the adults in the YouTube community, which is really weird. I don't really consider myself an adult in many ways. I'm still very dependent on my parents for a lot of things. I spend most of my time around young people, and I just filed my own taxes for the first time this year. But when I go to events like VidCon and Nerdfighter gatherings, I look around and I realize that I am probably 5 years older than the average attendee, and this gives me a lot of responsibility. I have met so many intelligent, mature, and creative young people through YouTube, some of whom are way beyond where I was when I was their age or in high school or whatever. Despite this, these young people are still very vulnerable to abusers, especially when those abusers hold a position of power in the community. The creator-fan relationship becomes incredibly complicated in a community like ours where the creators are so accessible to their fans through social media and events. And as we've seen in the last few weeks, it can lead to abuse. I do believe that young people should have autonomy and shouldn't have to be watched over at every moment, but at an event as big as VidCon, it's really easy for things to fall through the cracks. It is our responsibility as those who have been around the sun a few more times to make sure that that doesn't happen. If you are spending time with a young person at VidCon or any situation like that, really, just look out for them. Check in on them occasionally, ask them how they're doing, ask them if anyone's making them feel uncomfortable, etc. And above all, if you see anything that looks suspicious or abusive in any way, call it out. Don't worry about burning bridges. Don't think, oh, I don't want to intrude. Speak up and make the YouTube community a safer place for everyone. I was 19 when I went to my first con, which is pretty old by the demographics of YouTube, and I went with my parents. Yes, it was annoying having someone checking in on me all the time, but in hindsight, I'm so glad that I did. I knew that if I was in a situation where I felt uncomfortable, I had someone to call to help me get out. And now I can be that person for someone else. And of course, all of this can be avoided if people stop taking advantage of and abusing their fans. God, 2 relatively serious videos in a row. What is this, Charlotte? Anyway, stay safe, y'all. I love you a bunch, and I will see you next time.